back.
Dune 2. Yeah,
Dune 2. So, for anyone that hasn't seen it, spoilers.
for sure.
We're going to review the whole thing, major spoilers. Not holding anything back. Overall, as far as now, we just recently watched Dune 2 before we watched Dune 2.
We watched Dune the first.
We watched Dune Part 1 before we watched Dune Part 2. Obviously, how you're supposed to, but we just recently watched the first one for the first time.
Yes.
So, the first one was good. I liked it. And I'm not going to go through like the whole thing of the first one.
No,
Just, an overview of like, the first one was good. I liked it. I thought it was good. But you could definitely tell that they were setting up for a part 2.
Yeah, you told me that.
And I'm not sure if if that was the idea whenever Dune Part 1 came out, or is it called Dune Part 1 from the get, or was it just called Dune from the get? I don't know, because I didn't watch it when it first came out.
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking care about it. Really?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't think I was like it.
That
I would like it.
Very valid.
But, I did like it. You could definitely tell that it was set up for a part 2. As far as part 2, fucking loved it. 100% fucking recommend. You have to watch the first one first, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Do I think it's gonna win like fucking film of the year or anything like that? No. I don't think it's up there, but I do think it's a contender for some nominations. Superb cast. The action sequences were really good. The plot twists. All the plot twists were just fucking crazy.
Yes.
And I like how they kept them until the end.
Yeah, because it keeps you in it.
Yeah.
It kept you in it the whole time.
Like, I honestly thought, I had no idea that the direction it was going to go until the fucking end.
Yeah.
And it was like, I thought that, okay, I thought that he was going to, travel to the south, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The south of Arrakis. And, do his whole thing there. I honestly thought he was going to kill his mom.
I'm so glad you remember the names of the planets or the places, because I'm just like...
You're lost.
I know it, but it's like we're trying to keep in track with the places, and then like the do you count them as races or not races, but like not clan, like clan, families. There you go. Houses. There you go. That's even better. I was gonna say clans, and I was like, that's forbidden. We don't use that kind of term.
That's forbidden.
But but I'm glad you remember, because I'm just like, I know what I'm talking about and I'll describe it, but the names are just like yeah. But
I thought he was gonna go south of Arrakis, or to the south.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly thought he was gonna kill his mom.
There's still time.
I still do think that he's gonna kill his mom. I think his mom's pulling the strings, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's gonna kill her.
You think it's?
I think Johnny's gonna kill her.
See, I think the sister might do it. I still feel like the sister might get.
She's gonna play a huge part,
especially because of who they casted for whenever he's after he drinks the water of truth,
of life.
Yeah, water of life.
Yep.
And I feel like, I mean, I don't know. It could be one of those endgame situations, how they casted Hannah from 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
To play Tony Stark's, and then they ended up cutting that whole scene.
Yep.
It could be one of those situations, but I can't. I feel like it'd be hard.
I agree with you. It's either gonna be, and I can't remember the name that they gave her.
Who, his sister?
Yeah, because I said it in the cast list.
Oh, okay.
It's either gonna be his sister.
But you could be right. It could be,
and I think she's gonna kill her during childbirth.
But yeah, and that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
that's the thing, because a lot of people were talking about the whole comparison for Star Wars, or it's better and stuff like that. So it could play like as far as like that.
Yeah.
Thing. But I mean, I was also wrong as far as like the sped up thing, because what's his face got the one girl pregnant, and it was a normal pace too. The cousin, the kissing cousin. He got the one house mother.
Fade.
Yeah, he got her.
Fade. is it Roth? I think it's Rotha.
But yeah,
Fade Rotha.
but he got her. I mean, so it could be a normal pregnancy. I don't know, but I was expecting.
Well, so if you remember, like in the first one, whenever I think it's whenever him and his mom escape the invasion, that's whenever he's like, I can tell you're
Oh yeah,
pregnant.
he's like I
Like,
know certain things are. Yeah, he's
and she said,
how.
how do you know? I've only known for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
she's very early on then.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of time passed between the first one and the second one.
Right.
Now, the second one, there's a big time lapse because I think he goes through like a full year of training with the Fremen.
Is it a full year? Because that was so I was watching like people like minor reviews, and they said that like that was a note is like that they the first like half an hour seemed really like fast and rushed with like him and
It was a
Zendaya's
training arc.
Zendaya's like love arc as well too. Like but like all of that kind of just was like push 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 push, and then afterwards it kind of like because
It slowed down because it seemed like that whole obviously him finding Gurney
mm-hmm.
and using them to, well, the whole him attacking the Harkonnens,
Yes.
finding Gurney, and then going south and then coming back and doing the full assault on the Emperor. Uh, I, that seemed like it was only like maybe a week
Yeah.
or two max.
Yeah.
And that's just including travel time.
Mm-hmm.
But the first part, because Zendaya says in the whenever he's first training and what's his name, Stilgar,
Mm.
like the main leader dude of the
Mm-hmm.
Fremen, he tells him, I want you to travel there, stay fucking however long, and then come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part right there.
She tells him that he's never gonna last till summer. Like he's not gonna last the 6 months.
Yeah.
But then it seems like
That's exactly so. Yeah,
he lasts.
yeah. Because I was like, where are you going with this? But that's exactly the part that like seemed like because it was like she goes, helps him out, set up the tent and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And then after that, they're like, boom.
Yeah,
And I was just so there was like that.
and it's
part,
not just boom. It's not just like boom, they're in love. It's like boom, he's fucking like
yeah,
head of the
Yeah.
fucking shit.
that part. Like, that's what I mean. Like it seemed
he's
very
like coming
fa-
into the holy son al Ghaib.
It seemed really fast until then, and it was like time. So it was like almost like yeah, it was almost like they were catching up from the first one, and then it was like that was where they were finishing off Form Part 1.
Yeah.
And then after his training arc, then it was like that was the start of Part 2.
Yep.
In Part 2, though, because I was like that was super fast and like everything, like his training arc in that, because like once he gets to go ride the giant worm was like kind of the completion
Dude,
of his training.
I can't remember that worm's name, and I've been calling it Salad Habibi,
Salad Habibi.
and it's not. I know it's not. I think it's Saeed Halabu or Hulub or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is that worm's name? And I just keep on calling it Salad Habibi.
Salad Habibi. Interesting.
But I knew he was gonna call that fucking worm.
Yeah.
Like it was gonna be the biggest fucking worm.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know, like people are like, oh, I don't like whenever movies and shows are that predictable, but like at the same time, like I want to see him ride this fucking worm.
I think well, like for like things like that, it's supposed to be predictable because he's supposed to be the chosen one.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the Lasan Agaib.
Yeah, so he is supposed to be like all the things that anybody else normally couldn't do. You good? Having trouble? Your facial expressions gave it all off.
But I was off camera at that point because you were talking. Now I got to put it in there. Anyway, continue. Saved. Fucking loser.
Damn it. With Zendaya, did you catch the talk about how like with her name she didn't like it and how she preferred
she prefers Chani, which
yeah.
is her actual name,
yeah, and
not her war name.
but because she was like, "Is it follow some stupid prophet?"
Yeah,
and then how that comes into fruition because after he drinks the water of life, water of truth, life. Okay, he drinks it, and then they're like, she's like, and she's like, no, you do. So she already knew exactly what her part played in this whole prophet because of that.
So speaking of her part, big, huge plot twist at the end. The whole he tells her, "I love you for as long as I breathe," and then instantly, fucking turns around
Hey
and
yo,
says,
girl, let
"Hey
me
yo,
get that
Emperor, let
ass.
me fuck your daughter."
Let me get that ass, girl.
Yeah,
He wants both of them.
yeah, like,
He wants both of them.
but that's what I want to like, because you can tell he's changing.
Yeah.
Paul is definitely changing,
Mm-hmm.
but is he changing as far as like, is he like Cap picking up Mjolnir changing to where he's still Cap?
Yeah.
He's just stronger.
Yeah.
He's more confident. He's
Mm-hmm.
super Cap.
Super Cap. I think.
Or is it like, I don't know. I can't think of. Is a Savitar
Ooh.
where Barry's changing. He's getting stronger, but he's
There you go. That's a good. Okay.
yeah.
So I think it's after he drank that water. I think because he said he was able to see bloodlines, past and future.
Yeah.
So
Well, you got to remember, even his mom, whenever she drank the water and became the Reverend Mother, she said that when she becomes the Reverend Mother, she's going to have centuries of the other Reverend Mother's memories.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he gained too.
Yeah.
He gained all that.
Yeah. I think because of his bloodline, I feel like it's almost like destined that he's supposed to be. Not destined, but But I also feel like it's just a power play, and I think that's why he told the day, "Hey, like I love you. Like this is just an act, kind of thing."
And that's what I'm hoping. I wonder, but at the same time, like he has that confidence and that, I don't want to say swagger, but like he holds himself as like, I'm the shit.
He gave you major fuckboy where he's like, "Hey, girl."
Oh, he was 100%.
He's like, he said, he's like, "You're my main, all right, forever." Hey, yo, what up?
Yeah.
What are you doing tonight?
And
let me take you to dinner.
Like, is he gonna be this emperor that just takes whoever the fuck he wants? But he's like, listen, I will love you always.
I think it was one of those like,
but I'm fucking Tuesday tonight.
It gave arranged marriages vibes, pretty much, where he's like, this is who I want to be with. But as far as this power play, it's going to give, because he is the chosen one and because she's the daughter of the emperor, it's a power move to where like they would be untouchable kind of thing.
But the old Paul wouldn't do that.
No.
That's what I'm getting at. The old Paul, the Paul that didn't want to be the prophet.
He didn't want to drink the water.
That didn't want to, like, he just wanted to be a fighter. He just wanted to be what do they call him? A Fairdukin or whatever. Fairdukin. But they want, like, he wouldn't have never have done that.
But he
still wanted to kill the emperor.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to, like, do a power play like that. So now that he has stepped into this Lisan Al Gaib role, now he's wanting to do that. Is that,
you think is it a play, like a power? Or you
it's
think
either a play as far as like him using her, like it's an act, like you said.
Yes.
Like, like, I'm gonna do this, but like he said before, I will love you for as long as I breathe. To Zendaya. Made me believe, like, okay, like this is him telling her, like, hey, just go with it.
Yeah, that's what I.
But the way she reacted, it makes me feel like there's something else going on, to where it's like he's telling her, I still love you, but you have to fucking deal with this.
Ooh, like as far as like he's actually going to go through with it.
Yes.
Like, and like make her bear a child.
I honestly think. So I thought about this, and at the end of part 2, whenever he fights Fade and kills Fade, such a badass fucking fight, man. So good. Like I cannot wait for this movie to come out or get onto a streaming service so I can watch it again.
Yes,
so good.
And I think he did fantastic. Austin Butler did in his fight scenes.
Dude,
he carried.
He is terrifying.
Yeah. Like
the way that he carries himself in that character, the way that he, like, his poise, he gave, and I don't know if he did any method acting, but like I always praise method actors.
Yeah.
Like Heath Ledger, whenever he did the Joker, we always go back to the Joker.
Of course.
But he gave me, like, so I'm gonna say this a lot on this podcast because I hold actors to are they Heath Ledger status as far as the Joker
That's
status?
that's fair.
Because in my opinion, Heath Ledger's Joker was not only the best Joker, and I'm sure people are going to fight me on that, but this is a hill that I will die on because Heath Ledger put every fucking ounce of himself into that role
Yeah.
and did some crazy ass fucking method acting
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
point where people were afraid of him offset
Mm-hmm.
because he was in that fucking character 24/7.
Makes me want to watch the movie now.
Oh, I know, but like I hold actors and their roles to that standard. Like
Very fair.
I always say like I put I would put I would put Austin Butler as Fade, not on par with Heath Ledger, but very close.
He did, but he did his part to
He
sell.
made me believe. So I told you this after on the way back from the movies.
Mm-hmm.
The Harkonnens
Yes.
are one of the most terrifying fucking villains I have ever seen in a movie.
Mhm.
That's not a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like an action movie like this, an action drama or whatever.
That's fair.
They are the Harkonnens. Like I wouldn't say scared me because I'm not a little bitch, but like they fucking like it's like there was something about them. It's just like
just have.
God damn, like these motherfuckers are terrifying.
But it was mainly that family though. Like it was mainly
Well-
him. And speaking of that, because I'm not gonna go too far off, but it pisses me off, and we talked about this a little bit too, with Cat. Like just they fucking keep dogging Batista.
Yeah,
They keep dogging him, and I had this
he
conversation.
needs a good role.
And I actually talked about this last night.
And I know he had one with Drax, but he needs a good role.
I felt like as him being him shows his range as an actor, where it's like okay, like you can do a good bit of stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was poorly casted to make him play such a cowardice role.
He in the first one, he did really well. As far as like still instilling that fear
Yeah.
that I had, like I got the fear of the Harkonnen from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, I would not want to come across any of these motherfuckers. Like these guys are fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It's almost like is it Apocalypse Now? Or no? What's that one fucking movie? It was Apocalyptica or but there was a tribe.
Okay.
It was about this tribe. I want to say it was like Aztec or Mayan or something like that. But they were fucking vicious.
Okay.
But like they gave me like vibes like that, like just a savage fucking tribe
Mm-hmm.
of like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of my way. I
Yeah.
will fucking gut you from fucking bow to stern.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, it's just like, was it? It was the second one, I believe. Whenever Robon, which is Batista's character,
Okay.
is
Glad you remember names.
he's in the control room and he's looking at Arrakis.
Oh yeah.
And the guy's like, well,
Yeah.
we
yeah.
can't conquer the South because it's
Mhm.
uninhabited or it's unlivable or whatever. And he just instantly grabs his fucking face and smashes it off the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
table like 6 times. Was like, conquer it or fucking whatever the fuck he
Mhm.
says. But it's like they did really well to set him up just to fail.
See, to me, that part showed fear to me though. I feel like he executed like that, like
Desperation.
that. Yeah, desperation and fear because it was like I can't fail, so that
But
he
at
took
the
it
same
out.
time, I mean, he like it showed that power.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he was like, I will fucking do anything, including kill you.
And that's why I say I feel like they could have had somebody else play it because of how coward he was. And it wasn't that he was cowardly towards even his younger brother. It was like towards his uncle and just towards the repercussions of failure. Like you brought shame to this family.
As far as like his acting, he did really well.
acting wise, yes,
He did really well for the role, but I didn't like the role of Robon.
exactly. Yeah,
And I don't think they should have put Batista in that role.
that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what I feel like they should have had somebody else.
Especially him coming right off of Drax.
And like so, like I said before, as far as a nice stern role that I've seen that comes to my mind as for like right away is Spectra. And I was telling you, I know you haven't seen the James Bond Spectra movie because he plays a silent assassin, and he carries himself super well. he kind of just like stalks his prey, goes
Yeah.
around, but he has that sternness to him. He has that predatorial effect to him, and it's like this is like it was good casted because he carries himself well, and he's just always on James as well. He's always on James. He's finding him,
Yeah.
and it's like shit. Like he's tracking him, and that was a good role for him because he didn't have it. He there's a part in James Bond, not to drift away, where there's a seat that needs to be filled pretty much, and like James Bond is like spectating from like a higher balcony, and then you just see like the shadow of Dave, and he's just walking nice and slow to
Yeah.
the table, and then somebody's in the seat, and like Dave sits there or he stands there, and the guy like looks up, and he like slams his head off the table. Maybe I don't know if he slams his head off the table, but he gouges his eyes out.
Oh
Pretty much just
shit.
like quietly just gouges his eyes out, with his thumbs, drops the dude, pulls out like a hanky, wipes his thumbs off, and then sits down.
Huh.
And then he's like, "This is my chair now." But like doesn't say anything at all. And that's his demeanor the whole movie, is just quietly take action, take charge.
Huh.
Yeah. So I was like, it fit really well.
Yeah.
So I would like to see something like that for him in this, where he's able to attack, take charge, and just be like vicious. Even his revenge fight with Thanos in this film.
Yeah.
So short. Like all
Right?
that. Like it was just like so intense. Oh,
So that's one thing, and I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're good. You're good. I was.
I loved the movie. I loved Dune.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great movie. Like I'm really glad that we watched it
Yes.
because, like you said before, I would have never watched it. It just didn't seem like it interested me, and which is crazy because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but like, I feel like it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Dune.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I know that it's a remake.
Yeah, there's an original, but I guess there was only one.
Yes.
I think there's a. I was talking about this last night. There's a book
I
as
believe.
well, and they tried to stuff a lot from the book into the original.
And I'm gonna go back and read the book just because
Okay.
I like how, like, I did it with the Hunger Games. Oh, I didn't go back and read the Hunger Games. I read the Hunger Games before they made it movies,
Okay.
and I did the same with Harry Potter.
Okay.
I didn't do it with Twilight. I didn't do it with. Oh, what was the other? So a big one for me was the Mortal Instruments. I don't know if you've ever watched any of those fuck
It
ups.
sounds really. Jeez.
Well, so they made a movie and then they made a TV show, and both of them flopped.
Okay.
Now, I read all the books.
Okay.
The books are fucking amazing.
Okay.
Like, if you're a reader and you haven't read the Mortal Instrument series by what's her name, Cassandra Clare, I'm fucking that up. But if you haven't read the Mortal Instrument series, I think there's 5 or 6 books. Definitely read them.
Okay.
They're fucking amazing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's about these shadow hunters, they're called.
I think I have heard about this.
So the show was called Shadow Hunters.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was
I never.
from the book.
Okay.
The original or the movie was supposed to be book 1. And it was called The Mortal Instrument City of Bones.
Okay.
They fucked it up so bad. Now, don't get me wrong, like it was good. I liked it because they had a lot of key points from the book,
Mm-hmm.
but they fucked it up as far as like the ending and whatnot. The show touched on it a lot more, as far as like they got some really good points right.
Yeah.
They just never went any further, and it really upset me. But that was another one that I was really hoping they did an adaptation of, and they got it right, and they fucked it up twice.
Oh shit. Okay.
But anyway, I'm definitely gonna go back and read Dune, but I forget what we were gonna or fucking where the fuck we were at with this.
Comparison from the first one, or the original. You said Star Wars.
Oh yeah. So like I never would have watched it because like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's Dune. And it's like, what the fuck is Dune?
And everybody was so excited about it.
Yeah.
Everybody was so excited about
But
it.
like a lot of people compared it to Star Wars.
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard.
And I'm a huge fucking Star Wars fan.
Mhm.
I'm it's my favorite fucking, I guess, franchise.
Okay. Yeah.
Besides Marvel. But yeah, I never would have watched it,
Yeah. Exactly.
and I'm glad that we did. But one thing that I couldn't stand about it was the pacing and the anticlimacticness.
Yes. That was. Yeah.
Now, the build up of Fade and Paul was great. Great fight.
Yes.
That end battle was fucking awesome.
It was expect.
He
Yeah.
came in swinging that big dick and just said, he plopped on the table and said, "Emperor, you're mine." The whole time, once Paul found Gurney, Josh Brolin.
So excited that he was alive. I was
I
so
wish it was Jason
fucking
Momoa, but I can.
like I said with as far as Josh Brolin, I'm a big fan of Josh Brolin.
I'm
Even
a huge fan of Josh
before I
Brolin.
even knew who Josh Brolin was. Like as
Yeah.
far as like his name, like before he became like a household name and things
Yeah.
like that. I like to see he's actually in one of my favorite movies, Into the Blue.
Okay.
It's like one of my favorite summer movies. Anytime I'm at the beach, it's like one of the movies I want to watch with Paul Walker, Jessica Alba, the
Yep.
diving movie. One of my favorite, and like he was in that. Didn't realize that was him until like he built such a repertoire and all these other movies. I'll go back and watch it. I'm like, oh shit. So like I mean,
Yeah.
but he's been doing it forever. I think he was in is it Hollow Man or Invisible Man with
Hollow Man.
Kevin. But yeah, he's in
Yeah.
that. That's probably like the
I
oldest.
never knew he was in Hollow Man.
Yeah, he's the friend of Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
okay.
You being serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never knew.
I'm 98% sure that's him. I've only seen it once. Ex-girlfriend was a fan of Kevin Bacon, so she like watched like all his shit.
I still say one of Kevin Bacon's best movies is Mystic River. You've never seen Mystic River?
I don't think I've ever even heard of Mystic River.
Okay, so here's a funny story.
Okay.
Remember whenever, like way back when, you'd get like those ads in the mail of like, buy this many CDs or DVDs, get this many free, or like you would like have stamps and you would choose which DVDs you wanted, and then like you would fucking get them, and they were like cheap. No, it was like what the fuck was that called?
I don't remember
They
that.
had a CD one and they had a movie one.
Okay.
Well, every once in a while they would say, "Hey, buy 5 DVDs and get 3 on us." Like we're just gonna like give you like.
It sounds familiar, but I just can't really pinpoint. Maybe I never used it.
It was called, oh my gosh, what the fuck was it called? I used to do it all the fucking time. Like,
Okay.
A lot of my movies came from there, and it was like a catalog. Like they would send you a catalog, and you would just fucking put stamps or
This was
like.
like before Redbox was a thing.
Oh yeah, wait, dude, this was like whenever I was like a teenager.
Oh, okay.
Like I used to tell my mom, like, like I would ask my mom, like, can we get these DVDs? And she would say, yeah, go ahead and pick out the ones you want. Because like
Okay.
she would do it for like the music ones too.
Yeah.
Because like
yeah.
they had a CD one too.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I can't say that I remember
oh my
this, man.
gosh,
I can't say I remember this.
So they would have a promotion where it's like, hey, buy 5 DVDs and
Yeah.
we'll pick 3 more and give you 3 free.
Okay.
I did that and they picked me Mystic River. And
Okay.
it's the first time I ever heard about this movie. And the movie is about, so it's these, I think it's, 3 friends, 3 or 4 friends, these kids. And when they were kids, and this is how the movie starts out, the one kid, Dave, gets abducted by these 2 old men.
Okay. Dark.
Yeah, like
Shit.
this whole movie's dark.
Okay.
It's a thriller though. It's like a crime mystery thriller. It's really good. It's got Sean Penn, Kevin Bacon, what else is in it? There's a couple other like big names in it.
All right. Okay. Okay.
But he ends up getting abducted and gets sexually assaulted.
Okay.
Like I was, they don't actually show.
No.
it,
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
but
Yeah. But like, yeah. It's dark. Yeah.
he ends up getting free,
Okay.
but it fucks him up for life.
Okay.
They skip to the to the present day of the movie,
Yeah.
and Sean Penn plays this gangster. Like he's not really a gangster, but like he's like very high in the society.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Kevin Bacon's a detective, and Dave he's just a dad.
Okay.
He's married. He's got a kid. Sean Penn's daughter gets killed one night, and Kevin Bacon's the detective on it.
Jeez.
It's like the first time they've all come together.
I was gonna say, are they still friends? Or so this
They're
is.
they're still friends. They know like what everyone's doing, but they're
they-
not as close.
Okay.
And it's like it's a fucking wild ride.
Really?
Because like Kevin Bacon's telling Sean Penn like, "Let me do my fucking job," and Sean Penn's like, "That's my daughter. I will fucking kill anybody."
Mm-hmm.
And they all think it was Dave because he's so fucked up in the head from what happened.
Yeah,
They're like, "It's
yeah.
got to be him." Blah blah.
Like Kevin and Sean think that, or just like
No, Sean thinks that.
Sean? Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like the ending and like who actually killed this girl. It's fucking insane.
Really?
Such a good movie, dude. Yeah,
Really?
you really got to watch this.
Whoa, shit. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's an older one. It's from it's either late '90s or early. I want to say early 2000s.
Okay. Okay.
But it's got a good cast. Let me pull that up
Okay. Okay. Okay.
because I can't remember the name of the guy who plays Dave,
Okay.
but um, you'll
That's great. Yeah, I'll definitely take that in consideration. Speaking of cast, that's a big thing though too, and maybe that was why Dune was such a big grab. Aside from like the original, though, it was because of the casting.
it's fucking Tim Robbins.
Really?
Yeah, so Sean Penn plays Jimmy Markham. Tim Robbins is Dave Boyle, and Kevin Bacon is Sean Devine. And then it's got Laura Linney, Lawrence Fishburne plays the sergeant.
So I was gonna say he's probably the top cop. Yeah. Yeah.
Marcia Gay Harden plays Sean Penn's wife.
How do I know that name?
You know who it is.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, I know that name.
And then fucking Emmy Rossum is the chick that dies.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
That's the Sean Penn's
sorry.
daughter.
Marcia Gay Harden plays Dave's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Emmy Rossum is Sean Penn's daughter. Who dies.
Really? She must have been super young then.
Then they got
It was like it's a top casted thing, huh?
it's a big one.
I'll check it out. I'll have to find it somewhere. It has to be somewhere. Probably Prime.
Yeah.
Probably Prime. Prime has,
Prime has to have it.
It'd probably be like rent it for $17.
Fuck.
That's what Comcast was doing during
It'd
Christmas.
be worth it though. Like I would definitely pay $17 to watch it.
That good.
It's that good.
Okay then.
It's one that like those movies where like everybody should see the movie. It's almost like everybody should see Back to the Future. Everybody should see like a lot of those old 80s, 90s movies,
One of
those
those, like,
cult classics.
I'll say those instant classic kind of
Yeah.
things. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Like-
Because I haven't. I mean, maybe, but I haven't heard about it. Maybe it's big for the Kevin Bacon fans, and I don't dislike Kevin Bacon.
He's so good in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, he's done a lot of good movies.
Is it on par? Have you seen Prisoners
Prisoners.
with Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
Is it on par, kind of like to that ish? I mean, with that one, the daughters are kidnapped.
It's hard because it's two different eras.
Okay.
Because Prisoners was very modern
Mm-hmm.
compared to this day and age.
Yeah.
Back then, like, it's not the same detecting as it was, or as it
Okay.
is now.
I see what you mean.
it's-
Okay.
It's hard to compare.
Okay.
Like,
I get what. Yeah.
He does a great job as a detective, but he's not using the same
The kind of same.
style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
It's more of like, so the whole detecting, and this is obviously complete 180, but how the brothers did the detecting in Four Brothers.
Oh,
Where it was basically like just go around fucking.
and kind of like
That's
like
how
that.
he does. Yeah.
Okay. Back though. So Josh Brolin, super happy that he was still alive. Jason Momoa was definitely my favorite character in the first one.
I just loved his name,
Yeah.
Duncan, Idaho. Such a great.
Is that the only reason why you liked it?
No,
Or-
no. I fucking love Jason Momoa.
I think that was a great role for him. Actually, I really liked the way
I didn't know it was Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
At first, I did not know because, so when he first came into the scene, whenever he was getting ready to leave, and Paul was like, "I want to come with you. I'm ready," and he's like,
Yeah.
"No." I thought it was. I was like, "That looks like Jason Momoa."
because of the beard.
Yes, I was like, "That looks like Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be Jason Momoa." I didn't know he was in this movie.
Yeah.
And then the next scene that you see him in, it's like he looks very. He gave me, for any of you Apex fans, Gibby vibes.
Oh,
I don't know. He looked chubbier.
you think so?
Yeah, like it was
Really?
It was the angle that they showed him.
So I think it's crazy, and like at first I thought it was like a like a filming mistake. Because like in the first scene, the first shot you have, the first scene you see him, he has like his full beard, like his Jason Momoa beard, and then like you said, the next scene you see him in, his beard's gone, and then it's like he has like some facial hair, but it's not that. And then the third scene you see him in, or like the scene afterwards, it's completely shaved. Like everything's completely off.
Yeah,
Like,
but there's a little bit of a time lapse.
well, there is,
with
but
all
like
that.
like I said, the first time I watched it, I was kind of like, I didn't start off like focus. Like I said, I was eating and like I had it on, and then I was like, you have like Dune was one of those movies you have to pay attention to from the start.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
like I was like lost. So like I told you before, I went and watched it again before we saw the second one. So then I caught on more, and I was like, oh, he must have shaved it for his mission. And so he's growing, and then so I was like that. I was like,
Yeah,
so
because you got to remember they had the mask too,
exactly.
so it probably had to have like some type of air seal and all kind
And
of
it
shit.
could be like one of those things, but like I was like, but like, honestly, like no, like not being weird. I felt like he looked better without the full beard, like the one that his Jason Momoa beard that he carries, kind of like similar to yours.
Yeah,
I felt like when he had some facial hair, I was kind of like, it's a good look for you, man. I was like, whenever I seen that, and even like whenever he was cleanly shaved, like he looked a lot younger.
and that's the
I
scene that I didn't like recognize him
But
as.
that part, like right before he dies, I was like, I can see why girls like you. Like I can see like what the attraction. Like because before I'm kind of just like, not that he looks homeless, but I was just kind of like, he looks like a everyday's, like not even an everyday's man. Like he looks like an actor man. Like he doesn't look
Yeah,
somewhere where I'm like, girls are falling over for him. But whenever I was like, he had a pretty essence to him. Where I was like, you have a pretty boy essence to you. Whenever he was like shaved, like you can tell he's like older and everything like that too. But like he looked so much younger with his whole face shift. I was just like, that was like, you look like a movie star to where I see why girls are like, let me have your baby. Let
absolutely. Yeah.
me. So, but like I said, I mean,
Plus, I mean, his breakout with fucking Drago
that too.
was, I mean,
And maybe that's
he
what I
he was
see.
a man's man in
I
Drago.
see Drago, I think, more whenever, because like it had, like that beard fits Drago.
You,
Drago.
you know what's crazy though? I'm more used to seeing Jason Momoa in like his normal stuff now rather than Drago.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking rewatching Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Is it weird seeing him?
I keep forgetting that's Jason Momoa.
Yeah. But I feel like that beard for that character suited him.
Yeah, oh
Like
yeah.
whenever he has the beard for Aquaman, I mean, obviously, he put himself into it, but it's like one of those things where he could have.
Don't get me started.
Okay, all right, all right, all right. We're not. Well,
No,
that's for another
we're
time.
there.
The fight scenes for number 2. We talked about that. Super happy. I loved the ending fight scene. I loved how confident he was as far as like, what's up, cousin. I was looking forward to this. One thing
Yeah.
one thing that I say for both of them is it's like awkward, like they're so like Jason Momoa's death scene, like how he like kind of closes the door. Not so much for that one, but there's another scene where he like runs up to them or walks up and they kind of just like stand still and wait for the attack. I think it's before he takes the little mosquito helicopter. He like because he sneaks up on them. But there's one where they blatantly see them coming or he like runs towards them and they kind of just like wait until they get there. And it does it in the second one too. There's a few times where like they run up on the like whenever he takes
Yeah.
over for
Yeah, the choreography wasn't really spot on.
like it's like yeah they don't like kind of like stop but like the fight scene whenever it's like hey we're about to fight now that was fucking
That was fucking dead nuts.
yeah but even
Yeah.
the arena like when they were like walking up to him it's
There
like
wasn't there wasn't really like so I saw which I was telling you I saw an interview that Zendaya and Timothy Chalamet were doing and I can't remember where they were.
mhm.
But they were talking about they were talking about Austin Butler in his makeup and how like fucking terrifying he was.
Mhm.
And they were asking him about like how was that working on set with him, blah blah blah, with him and that. And they were saying that like they didn't get to see him for like the first I don't know however long of shooting because he was in a whole different location. And
Right,
that was
right.
whenever he was shooting for that arena.
Yeah.
And the way that they showed it, they showed a picture of the arena and like that black and white, that grayscale,
Yeah.
shooting style that I was so excited for, which was great. But at the same time, that arena fight, I feel like was just so anticlimactic. Like, yeah, that Atreides guy that
The
he
last one
fought,
that he fought, yeah.
the last one, he put on some good, moves. He did pretty well, but they just,
I think
I
the
don't
big
know.
I think the big climax for that one was that he took off his shield whenever
He
was
took
like,
off his shield once he
like,
found out that he wasn't drugged.
yeah he's kind of like okay cool like I can do
But then
this.
again, like I felt like he's a little bitch too.
because he had him drugged.
Well, Yeah,
Oh,
but
and he had him drugged. Plus, he was wearing the shield.
well, yeah, that. But I mean, the bitch after the fight, whenever he goes up to his uncle and he's like,
Like,
he wasn't drugged.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
It's
tried
like
to have me killed. Like motherfucker, you're supposed to be this
you're in the
badass
set.
fucking,
Yeah,
but this fucking savage fucking badass. Shut your fucking bitch made ass up.
exactly.
Like seriously.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know I said it during the movie, and like I'm not gonna go back tracking too much. Him with his shaved head, and there was a one scene. He gave me like Luthor vibes. Just his look,
Yeah,
like not so much as far as the acting is, because like it's completely two different
I'm
things.
very excited. I haven't seen a lot of Austin Butler,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm very excited to see where he goes from this.
So I haven't seen a lot of his. Like I said, I know he was in Arrow a few times, and then
Mhm.
I know he played Elvis, which I didn't get to see yet.
Yeah, he did really well in Elvis.
Oh yeah, you said you watched it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very if you're a fan of Elvis
Mm-hmm.
or even a fan of music in general, like
Yeah.
it's a very good movie.
Like I said, I didn't get to see that yet, and I know you talked about that. But as far as besides Arrow, I know his name has been around. So when I see his face, I'm kind of like, oh, that's him, because I was able to pick him out. But I haven't seen a lot of just kind of like Timothy. I haven't seen a lot of his work.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I was excited about that. And then the last fight scene was fucking.
So good.
But again, like I
So
said, like you
good.
said, I felt like I didn't think he was gonna lose Timothy. I was happy that like not happy like for Pain, but I was like I'm glad that he didn't walk out without a scratch. Like I'm glad that they made it like on both
Yeah.
ends. Like it wasn't just
He
one.
didn't get his ass kicked, but he at least
It wasn't one sided where it's like he just
Yes.
because it's like you knew with that build up, if the build up would have been a flop where it's like one it was completely like oh he's a top tier fighter like like one was better than the other, but it was like okay they're evenly matched for a little bit
Yeah.
and then it's like oh shit.
But what pisses me off, and I don't think I talked to you about this. What pisses me off the most, and this is why I say a lot of it was very anticlimactic,
Mm-hmm.
was whenever whenever the Emperor's daughter, whenever they were still back on wherever their home is,
Yeah.
and she was talking to the Reverend Mother,
Yes.
the one that trained Paul's mom and tested Paul.
Mm-hmm.
The
Ooh.
what do they call him? The Truthsayer.
Yeah, whenever he told her to silence or whatever like that, and she
She's
said
like,
abomination. I was like, but like how like much it's changed from before because he couldn't control it at all. And I was just like, he knocked her back.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off, but I was like, that part was like, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Use that voice.
you're on that shit now. Okay,
Yeah.
I was, yeah. But yeah,
But if you remember, she told the Emperor's daughter, I was like, she said, "Don't worry about Paul. We have our own plan.
yeah,
Being Fade."
yeah,
And then nothing comes of it. Like he never uses the voice. Like it never even like it. She implies that he's being trained in
to take,
a Benny Gesserit.
yeah, like he's the opposite of Paul.
Yes.
Yeah.
That he will be the Lisan Al Gaib.
Mm-hmm.
And then like nothing comes of it, and then he's dead.
Yeah,
Which makes me believe that he's not dead,
you said, like you said, like
or he's gonna come back. Like they're gonna carry his body and they're gonna put him in the Baron's tub that has healing properties, and they're gonna bring him back. I feel like he's gonna like he did such a great job.
Mhm.
I honestly, and this might be a hot take, I feel like he did a hell of a lot better job than Timothy Chalamet did with Paul.
Okay.
I didn't like I didn't hate Paul,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I felt like Timothy Chalamet didn't do a job where I was like, wow, this motherfucker. Like,
I felt like that
and
in
it
the
might
first
not
one.
be him. It might just be the character.
See, I felt that in the first one,
Yeah, like
And-
like his character just felt really bland until the end of 2.
and then okay, I was saying in number 2, I felt like he I felt like in number 2 he stayed humble the whole time. He tried to at least,
Yeah,
and then after he drank the water, he was kind of like, you know what, I am the shit.
yeah.
And I think that's whenever he kind of fell into that like
When
Prince.
he drank the water, dude, when he gets up in the middle of everybody and he's like, there ain't one person in here that can take me.
Woo, he was on that,
And they were all like ready to fucking go. And he's like, come on, bring it.
yeah.
Not one fucking person.
He was well. That's because he started like telling like he started talking about like their past though. He was like trying to prove to them
Yeah.
that he is who they keep thinking that he is.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm sick of being humble. Like
Yes.
you're right. Bow down to me, motherfucker.
Yep.
That and
Fucking
I was just
peasants.
that's what he was on. He was on some
Yes.
like I am the shit really. But I liked even that like that turn. I don't like that it took the water from the. Well, I guess no. I take that back. I think I do like the fact it took the water because he was so against it. But the fact that he stayed, like I said before in the first one, like with the dad, and then they were saving the workers. Like it wasn't one of those like we're royalty, like these people are beneath us.
Yeah.
Like he likes it, and so like even in this one, it was like he stayed humble. He stayed a humble prince, a humble duke,
Until he took the
and
water.
then but then he was kind of like, but I think that arrogance came from because he knew what was coming, and then also like what has to be done.
Yeah, because he even says that to Shawnee,
Yeah,
where he's like, or Johnny,
yeah.
Shawnee, whatever her name is, um, where he's like, I'll go south and I'll do what has to be
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
But like, I thought he was gonna kill his mom.
So that's why I think that number for part 3, because that was a big question though. So if Austin, because like again, it was anticlimactic. I don't necessarily know how it would have ended to keep both of them alive to make it to part 3. Because once you figure that they were gonna fight,
One of them has to die.
yeah, you realize that like that fight came, it was like okay, like so how is he gonna make it to part 3? Because again,
But at the same time, at the end of part 1, well, not the end, but like at the invasion
mm-hmm.
in part 1, we thought the Baron was dead
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of the poison. But then, he was like on the brink of death.
he was on the ceiling though.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it could be that he's not completely dead, or he's like dead, but he's still able to be brought back.
because I was waiting for the pop back. Like, did you see his mom's react? Like his mom was like, because I liked her reaction because it showed that she still genuinely isn't trying to control him, or maybe he's just still part of a bigger plan. Whenever he got stabbed, and she's like, oh, like she stood up, she was like, because she believed in him too. So I was like, okay, like either it's motherly love or it's not part of your plan for your son to die.
And I think it's more of she's gonna be the bad.
That's what I'm saying. She's starting to transition just like he is.
She's gonna be the big bad.
And I think
in 3.
that's my question is how do they stop them? Because that's what because like she told.
3 is gonna be the holy war.
Well, like I said, but that's what she told the emperor's daughter was like we pick bloodlines, like we place people in certain places, like that, like, so like it's our doing. That's how it's gonna stop everything. They have to get to them, and obviously his mom has too much power now after she became the mother, and after she drank the water too.
Yeah.
So I don't
He's
see
gonna become stronger than her.
I don't see it being a revenge thing because after Austin's child is born. Well, no, because it's a girl, and so is Paul's sister.
Yep.
So it won't be like a son avenging dad kind of thing.
I really hope that they don't.
It could be a female assassin issue, or female warriors as well. I mean, it could be one of those things too. Because fucking Zendaya was a fucking badass whenever she had her fight scene.
Oh yeah.
Like I wonder if they did like a Samuel L. Jackson Star Wars thing, because like why it was behind his purple lightsaber.
It was his
like
favorite color.
Well, that plus he also wanted to. He's like, there's a lot of like blue and green. He's like, how am I gonna see me?
Yeah.
So then he was like, can I get like a? So they gave him purple, and then I guess the meaning behind the purple is also like because he's touched into the dark side. Like
Yeah.
When you but
yeah, that's the lore specific.
yeah. But because I guess he talked to he's like, can I get like different color, like so I can like stand out. So whenever And I was like, but Zendaya, I don't know if you noticed it. She put her like bandana. What? Why can't I speak? Around her arm. It was like a blue bandana before the fight. I don't know if you picked up on that. She's tying it. It's like they're ready to gear up for the fight, and she ties it around her arm. And then as she's going through, because like they have all like their full mask on and stuff like that, and she's going through fucking kicking ass. And I'm like, that's her. She's fucking. I was like, get it, girl. Fuck shit up. So there's again, like I said, I think unless like time skip as far as that goes,
I really hope they don't.
Yeah, but because like as far as
they
these
need to ride this wave.
As far as these children being born, it's kind of like like where do they? Because I mean, obviously, them being pregnant is relevant. Both of them. Like
I think what's going to happen is she's going to. So we know that Anya Taylor.
Yeah.
Is going to play
his sister.
Yeah. She already did.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to be where he's going to communicate with her more along the lines of like how she came to him in a vision, rather than actually being there in person.
Oh.
I don't think she's ever going to be born.
Okay.
Or if she does get born or become born, then it's going to be like at the end of the movie, like whenever everything's said and done.
Yeah, it could be one of those
this
like
is a fresh start,
like it could be one of those like continuance, like where it's her story, like like down the road kind of thing. I could see that too. Like what if they want to?
I think as far as like her being in the movie, I think it's going to be like her. I think she's going to be the one that saves Paul.
I like doing these, like not to take. I like doing these predictions because hopefully 2 years from now we're still doing these. We're on the red carpet doing like you said, speaking into fruition, but like we'll be able to see how close we are. Just going based off of this
Yeah.
one, we'll be able to see how close we are.
Yep.
Or we'll come back and redo, and we're like, we were completely off. We suck.
We were horrible.
That movie
Plot twist. The nukes destroy Arrakis.
It's like we were wrong, but I like this because it's like going back where like, man, like, we'll go back and watch this and be like, oh, cool, like Dune Part 3 is coming out finally.
Yeah.
Now. And then we're gonna watch this episode about like what we're predicting. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna go watch.
Yeah, we're gonna have to instead
we're
of
just gonna
watch
be like-
Dune 1 and 2 before Dune 3. We're gonna have to watch this episode.
We're gonna watch this and we're gonna go back and watch it. And we're gonna watch Dune 3 and be like, huh, idiots, the dumbest boys that like
dumbest boys.
never do this again. But I could see, like, so his sister said, like I said, I really do think that he has a plan. And I think that he's trying to trick his mom as well. Like, I think he sees it. Because I wonder, it's almost like the way he was confident, it's kind of like he saw his mom's plan as well. Like, after he drank the water,
Yeah.
and he's like, it's kind of like one of those things, like, how, like, whenever he announced, like, like, hey, like, you're pregnant, it was kind of like that confidence where he's like,
Well, you got to remember too that like he's stronger than her.
no, I know that. That's
So-
that's why I'm saying I feel like he was able to see what she's planning
Yes.
as well. So now he's kind of going along, and I feel like that. We were like linger on that. I feel like that's why it ties into him saying, to Zendaya, "I'm gonna love you until my last breath." To where like something along with him drinking the water plays into out planning his mom to take down the house of the mothers.
I still think there's gonna have to be a redemption arc to
Okay.
where Paul's gonna end up getting power stricken, or however you want to say it.
Mhm.
He's gonna get soaked in this power, and it's gonna take over.
You think he's gonna be like the Sith?
Yeah,
You think he's gonna be like the Sith?
It's possible.
No shit.
He's gonna be the next Kylo Ren. To where he was good, then he gets his power and he turns Sith, but then
Mm.
here comes Rey.
You think so?
I think so, and I think it's gonna be Zendaya's gonna kill the mom. They're
Okay.
gonna save the baby.
When she cusses her out, she's like, "You do it." She's like, "You know what needs to be done. You do." Like before she takes the tea, I was just
Yep.
like, "That's right. Talk to your mother-in-law like that.
Yeah,
Let her know that shit."
yeah,
Yeah.
But I think she's gonna kill the mom,
hmm
and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be after the sister's born.
Okay.
Zendaya's gonna kill the mom, and it's gonna like snap Paul out of it. It's either gonna snap Paul out of it because I feel like his sister being there, her power's gonna like.
What if the Emperor's daughter does it? What if she kills? If she kills the mom? No,
She has no reason to.
you don't think she has a? Yeah,
She has no reason to.
she's just a pawn. You think?
Yep.
I feel like she's gonna have.
What's
a
she
bigger,
gonna do?
I feel like they.
She had no even whenever I knew that Paul was alive. She fucking said it. She was like, "Hey, Paul's alive." But when she found out that her dad was the one that fucking ordered it, she was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Well, maybe it might turn. Because like I said, I felt like with Dave, like getting cut short, Dave Bautista. I felt like he was gonna turn in part 3, and then that answered my question whenever he faced what you call it, and then he died, and I was like, well,
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
he won't make it to part 3. So like I said, there was a lot of like killing off to where it was like,
I'm excited for Dune 3.
what do you rate it before we go?
I give it a solid 7.5.
What?
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Really?
Yep.
Because I'm giving it an 8.
I was gonna go 8, but it's one. So like, I feel like a 7 and up for me
Okay.
is like I'm gonna recommend it. I think it was really well done. I think it was good, but there's
Okay.
just some things that it's lacking. And the main thing for me that it's lacking is there are some anticlimactic
Mhm.
parts.
Yes.
It feels like the pacing is way off.
Yeah.
Maybe not off, but very sporadic.
That's why I gave it an 8 because the top thing, the pacing and the anticlimacticity, and it being
Anticlimactic. That thing.
and,
I don't even know if there's a word for that.
but it being anticlimactic, yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like anticlimacticity was like felt right. It could be wrong. Maybe it's not a word, but
Anticlimacticization.
that seems like too much.
That seems like a lot.
We'll say anticlimacticity, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
I agree with though pacing, and then again, I mean I know no because he was in this, yeah. Even using Dave in like Batista, like in the way that they can, like that is a big part into using him. I feel like
Yeah, it just felt
they could
like
have used him better.
yeah, because like he was the big besides the Baron.
Not to cut. Speaking of casting, speaking of people, Christopher fucking Walken.
Oh, right,
Sorry, like almost fucking like this whole episode. Christopher fucking Walken
right,
as the Empire.
Emperor.
And yeah, Empire, Emperor, like same. It was Christopher fucking Walken. Like they had money for this.
You want to know what I love about Christopher Walken? He's like Sam Jackson as well. It it doesn't matter what role you play, you're getting Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
You're getting the voice of Christopher Walken.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting Samuel L. Jackson's voice, no matter what.
That's why I said like, even the Josh Brolin's voice is very distinctive too. Like it's like, but yeah, Christopher. Like I was like Christopher. Like whenever I saw, I was like, you brought Christopher Walken into this.
Yeah,
like let's fucking go.
And like whenever I first saw it, I was like, okay, like this is not a Christopher Walken movie.
Yeah,
at all. How is he going to play the Emperor? And I really thought he was going to be very short, did not have a lot of like long lines.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever he went into like actually talking and like conversing, it's like holy shit, it's like real Christopher Walken.
Gave him like they gave him a part, and it's just like and it was is it Florence? I can never pronounce her name. The one that plays his daughter, Florence Pog. I can't pronounce.
Yes,
I'm terrible at pronouncing names.
Remember.
And I'm not trying to butcher, and it's ironic because of my name. So, but I'm not trying to. But she's had a big escalation in her career too. That's why I feel like she's gonna have a big part to play in number 3. But yeah,
she's gonna I think she's gonna be a crucial ally.
That's what I was gonna say. Like her,
and I think she's gonna be the one that gets Zendaya to come back and save Paul.
She saw the way that they were looking at, so she knows. And that's why I said her character gave me the same vibes that Dave's vibes were giving me towards the end, where Dave was kind of like, I don't really know, like I'm getting treated like shit, like my family's not really shit.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but he went out like he's like on his feet, like he didn't. Whenever he fights. He's not a coward when he fights. He's just terrified. I don't know, maybe that's what they were trying to portray. He's more terrified of his uncle, and then even like again, like I said, like his brother too. So, but that the whole Dave thing, that's what the way they made him portrayed, the pacing for sure, and it being in some parts anticlimactic. That's why I'm like,
yeah,
I'm giving, because I almost gave it an 8.5. Like I was thinking about it, but I think I'm gonna stick with a solid 8. I really enjoyed it.
The biggest thing for me is they brought like the Harkonnens in general in the first one were like, cool. We got a family of badasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we realized in 2, like, okay, we got a singular badass in Fate.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just like not to see him do much until that final scene, and it's just like
that's what I mean. Like, he's
gotta be in the third one.
He stood and watched as like his uncle died. That's what I mean. Yeah. Like with that whole like whenever Timothy came and when Paul came in and he's on the stairs trying to climb to the chair, they all just stood by and watched.
Yeah. And
it was like, I don't know if they were trying to play as power play where like they were outnumbered, because even then he's kind of like, all right, we're taking you guys too. So I don't know if they didn't act, but like in that sense, like they could have had like a fight then that was cut short, like before he kills his uncle. But I don't know if it was one of the, because that's what I thought was going to happen. Is they're gonna have the mini fight here, going to do pretty good. They're gonna have a taste of each other, what they can do, and then at the end, then it would be the big fight. But then he just stood by and shows us like his sociopathness, his psychopath, where he's like, go ahead and kill him. Go ahead. Like he was almost getting off on that, where it's like, all right, man, what's your play? Well, obviously you don't have a play because you're dead now too. But it was like, that's where I thought he was going, because like it showed like his viciousness, where he's like, I don't give a shit. He doesn't care about anybody.
It feels like the way that they're doing these movies, these Dune movies. So if you take any action movie that has 2 sides, good and bad, they always do some type of progression with the bad to counteract the progression of the good and make the good seem like it's winning over the bad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say? Like coming out on top of it. I feel like they didn't do that with these. Like they showed them, hey, these are the bad guys. This is their power level. This is how strong they are.
This is what they want.
Now let's go over to the good guys and we'll just make them stronger.
Yeah.
And like I like it. It's a different style, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to see like.
You want that build up,
like you said about the mini fight. I keep going back to the Darth Maul fight where Qui-Gon Jinn died in the first one. You got the mini fight of both of them fighting each other or
Mm-hmm.
fighting Darth Maul, and then you know you got Obi-Wan that gets locked out.
Yeah, he gets cut off.
Yeah, he gets cut off, and then Qui-Gon ends up getting
Mm-hmm.
killed, and it's like, okay, now the big fight
Exactly,
where
but it was a
Obi-Wan
it
comes
was a
in.
good pacing though, because it's like you're getting the big fight split into two though.
Yeah,
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 or threes. Technically, I guess
yeah,
threes.
three, I guess.
Yeah, because he fights them both at the same time, and he's fighting.
Then
Yeah,
fights one, then fights the other.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But
yeah, 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 yeah.
like, I feel like they just. I thought it was gonna be something like that,
Okay.
to where Zendaya was gonna jump in,
After he got stabbed, kind of like, 'cause see, that's what I got.
or even before, like you said, you thought there was gonna be like a mini fight. Like I thought she was gonna jump in, he was gonna fuck her up, and then it was gonna be,
Well, because after he gets stabbed, he looks at her and he's like, "You care about this one, like your pet," and like so it kind of seemed like he was going to go after, and then it was going to build up again. But then he,
yeah,
yeah, like I said, I felt like it would have been good placement for before he kills the uncle. And I don't know if maybe they didn't do it because it was like love shows weakness in their beliefs. Maybe is like what they were going for, like caring, like because like what she said, she was like, "Your father didn't believe in like vengeance," and and he said something about how he's not his father because like for the second one,
yeah. You're
she's like your father
right,
didn't
but I
believe.
do.
Yeah, she's like your father didn't believe in revenge, like so maybe it's just like one of those things where they don't believe in it. Because even Christopher Walken was like, your dad was weak, and it's like, he wanted to kill him then.
Yeah,
He wanted to,
I
and
want to
like,
say that because one, like, yeah, he's already pissed off that his dad's dead,
you're behind it,
but now he found out he's a fucking Harkonnen.
and the emperor was behind killing his dad, and then you're like, yeah, your dad's weak. That's why I
That's
had him killed.
that right there is also why I think that something is changing. Paul
Mm.
found out that he's Harkonnen.
So you think it's gonna
I
be?
think that he's like having a battle with his mind, where he's like, I'm
Mm.
Harkonnen. I might as well fucking act like one.
Ooh.
That on
Okay.
top of the power that he just received
Yeah.
from getting or from
Yeah.
drinking
Okay.
water of life.
Okay.
That's where the change is.
Okay. It's
And
like
I feel like,
It's an internal thing.
yeah, and I feel like they gotta like I feel like Zendaya is gonna end up having to change him back to an Atreides.
It's like a play on like kind of like, well, I'm this now, so I gotta believe in like almost like how Peter is, where he's like, oh, I just found out that I'm Irish, so I gotta do the cliche things,
Yeah,
stereotypical things,
yeah,
but in a more serious format, where he's like, I just found out in this, so now okay,
yeah. I
okay,
think it's more of a mind game. I don't think it's so much that like him, getting this power and becoming the Lisan al Gaib
mm-hmm.
is changing him. I think it's more the fact of what he learned whenever he became the Lisan al Gaib.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
To where like, hey, I'm Harkonnen.
Oh shit. Well, all right, yeah. I mean, this was Dune with
Dune
um,
and more.
but yeah. Until next time.
Adios, bitches.